And we're back.
Welcome to No Direction Beyond, your Starfinder's news, reviews, and interviews podcast. I'm Alexander Agunas, a No Direction's everyman gamer, and I'm joined, as always, by the most intrepid Starfinder this side of the universe, James.
I'm James. I used to write Code Switch.
And today we're here. We're continuing our look at all of the great Starfinder Second Edition product. It feels like only 2 episodes ago that Starfinder Second Edition Core Rulebook came out, and here we are in the future where we have a fancy alien archive. If you watched us live on Twitch TV when we stream now on Mondays, you would see that I am holding a copy of this book. It's a print and it's glorious. But if you are listening to us, we still love you. You'll just have to imagine that I'm holding the book in the mind's eye.
Yeah, I mean, time has flown, for better or for worse.
Yeah, that ain't that the truth. So James, when we were going into this, what were you expecting out of I mean, I called it Alien Archive because that's what they were called back in the day when James and I were young and special and in first edition. But now this is actually called Alien Core. And so when you heard of Alien Core, what were you expecting?
When I first heard of it, I was expecting some player species and a
Mhm.
smattering of bestiaries and
Yeah.
maybe some charts, some
Yeah,
tables.
definitely. And today we're going to take a look at this book. We're going to see whether or not it has met what James and I were expecting. I have done more with second edition, so like I kind of know what the vibe they were probably going to go with for this book. You can see like the first thing I want to say is like this book is kind of like thin, right? It's I think it's like 150
No,
pages.
it's
It's
like
like,
two something.
is it?
Hmm.
Is this paper just not as thick as it used to be? This looks, oh god, it is like 200 pages. Oh my gosh. It's like 220 pages. It's a bit on the thin side. I could be wrong. I think that the Pathfinder core was a little bit bigger. I don't
Yeah, but I
know
mean,
off the
they
top of my head.
probably had to deal with a bunch of classic monsters and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Stuff that you just got to
And
put in.
so like kind of one of the things that like James and I were talking about, because James and I, we always, I wouldn't say we do like a full episode breakdown and talk a ton, but like we always talk a little bit. And I think that one of the things that's really cool about this book is that the vast majority of content in it is not something that we've really seen in a Pathfinder book before.
Well, yeah, definitely not a
Yeah.
Pathfinder book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it would be very easy to be like, here's a Gleaser brew with a gun. Here's,
Here's a Gug with 4 guns.
with 4 guns. Yeah. I actually just looked it up. The Pathfinder Monster Core, it was 376 pages. So it
Yeah,
was bigger than
yeah, but you
this.
had to put in pixies or whatever,
Yeah.
nonsense, all sorts of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. A lot of it being in chat agrees with me that the paper seems like it's a little bit thinner. I think it's probably safe to say that material costs have been kind of ruined by the current economic state of things, which is what we'll say about that for now.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I think that in general, like I saw the size of this book and I was like, I don't know. I think this is about the same size as what we used to get
yeah.
for the Alien Archives.
So I do also think that the stat blocks are smaller than they used to be.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah,
I think
for a lot of creatures.
I, I
So
think that makes sense though. Like a lot of the mechanics are like simplified and
mhm.
there's a lot more keywords and things are in general kind of squished. Like
Yeah,
abilities are a lot shorter.
yeah, because some pages you get like 3 or 4 creatures on a page.
Yeah. Three or four, definitely. And I think that whether you like that or not is based on your own preferences. I tend to think that monsters that are more straightforward with what they do are a good thing, personally. I'm a GM, and man, oh man, if you put too many abilities on that creature, I'll forget.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is new because of keywords. I saw like wave site, and I was like, hold on, I'm so new to
Yeah,
this. What is wave site? But thankfully, it's in the appendix at the back or glossary, whatever you call
yeah.
that.
Yeah. They definitely didn't get rid of universal creature rules from the original Starfinder. So if you like them having preset abilities where they're just a couple words that you could reference later, that still exists.
Yeah, and like I think it's simpler for newer players too. So
Yeah,
I'm not grumpy about it.
definitely. Same. With that in mind, let's talk a little bit about what kind of stuff this book has. I would say that like the vast majority of this book is stat blocks and like and aliens or monsters, whatever you want to call them.
I mean, it's probably like 60% monsters, 40% lore about those monsters.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I might push that 40% downward closer to 30, but I think you're not wrong.
I mean, I think some creatures definitely have more and less, but also
That's
I
true.
said monsters. A lot, some of these things are just kind of things, but
Yeah.
there is a fair amount of monsters.
what one of the things that's really interesting about this Alien Archive, especially it compared to, or I'm going to keep calling this Alien Archive by accident. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, fam.
it's gonna happen.
Uh, yeah, where James and I are old, our brains don't work too good. But one of the things about Alien Core that really stuck with me compared to Alien Archive, and honestly compared to Monster Core for Pathfinder Second Edition 2, I'm going to keep making that comparison because they are very similar. Is that this book has organizations in addition to having like real monster aliens. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I admit it's been a while since I paged through Monster Core, but I don't remember seeing like Rune Lords, Steel Falcon, or Eagle Knights in that book. Like this is, but one of the first stat blocks you see is the Aeon Guard, which
I think
is
it is the
they
first.
yeah, it is the first. I think you're right. I think it is the first. It's and they are like they're the stormtroopers of the Aslanti Empire. I think that's accurate.
Yeah, and
And
they're kind of like Eldar. They have ion stones, and they fight over them, and don't take their ion stones. They hate it when you do that.
yeah. And well, what's really cool is that the section is it's one of the longer ones. Most of the sections for aliens are 2-page spreads, but they are two-page spreads. You get 4 pages on the Aeon Guard. So you get like rank and file soldiers at a couple of different stages and levels, which I think is really good if you are running an adventure where the Aeon Guard are your primary enemies. Like I normally this is the type of thing you'd have to wait for like an NPC core for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and it does it also with Hell Knights. Um, there was also Free Captains, which are just like pirates. So and Swarm. They do it with a couple
Yeah.
other beings as well.
Yeah. Oh, look, it looks like Dustin Knight, Paizo's developer, probably the lead developer on this book, is hanging out with us in chat today. He says we have a lot of extra room for cool stuff in here because we don't have to reprint hellhounds and cats because they are in the monster core. I
Hmm.
I want to say that one of the things that is very true is that there are sections and spreads for like demons and devils and daemons and like fae, gremlins,
Oh,
like stuff from Pathfinder, but when it introduces a monster, it's always like a new type of that thing,
yeah,
which is definitely different.
yeah. Like on the troll section, it's not troll. It's it's like tech troll or whatever they are.
I'm being clarified in chat. Dustin wants me to tell you that he is a designer, but Mike Kimmel was lead for this project. So cool.
Credit
Maybe
where
someday
credit's
we'll
due.
get to have him on. Yeah, you got to. I didn't flip back and double check, so that's on me.
Hmm.
So I do like that there are organizations in here. I think that is good when you are using this as a jumping off point.
Hmm.
And I would wonder whether or not they would technically be considered aliens, but I don't know if I care enough
Yeah,
to make for that to say. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's the thing. I don't care enough. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever. But there's so as someone who's played a lot of Starfinder, there's a lot of stuff in this book that like is very nostalgic for me personally. Like another one of the early creatures is the Akata, which
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
these like from original Starfinder, they're like these horrible like blue tentacle faced dog monsters.
Hmm.
And they inject their eggs into you, and their eggs like suck your life force out to sustain the worm like babies inside, and that turns you into a void zombie in the process. Uh, my first Starfinder character played under James. I got so many eggs laid in me, and I had to go to the hospital for several days.
Hmm. 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 There,
It
there.
turns out it turns out in Starfinder you can just go to the hospital.
Yeah, as long as you have a place that has a hospital, you can just go to a hospital. Doc, fix me up, patch me up.
Yeah.
Also, the Garangal is there. The
Yeah.
Drift Dead and Variant Drift Dead.
Yeah.
A lot of the classics. There's a lot of undead in this book. It's like hinting at
Yeah.
you that there might be more undead things soon.
Well, it's really interesting because the first adventure that came out for Starfinder is this one that I'm holding right here, Guilt of the Grave World. It
Hmm.
takes place on Eox and it has a lot of undead in it. So it's like, oh, maybe they're giving us content because that's one of the first adventures that they've done. One of the things that James and I noted when we were glancing through that was really interesting is this book has a ton of Fae in it. Like we were actually really surprised how many Fae are in this book, which makes
Yeah,
me think there's going to be some kind of like Fae focus in the not too distant future.
yeah. It's not just gremlins either. It's from all over the nature spectrum,
Yeah, there's a lot.
including the Fabio Sexy Man who lives in your radioactive ship's core.
Yeah. And also one of the things that's interesting is like I mentioned that the majority of like stuff from Pathfinder wasn't reprinted into this book. But there are a couple of monsters that are very similar to their Pathfinder Monster Core stat block versions of them. The majority of those monsters are monsters that are Pathfinder and Starfinder, aka Paizo versions of monsters that were originally that are like the updated conversions from when they remastered Pathfinder. Essentially, for those of you who don't know, several years ago, Wizards of the Coast threatened to essentially dismantle the OGL that allowed Pathfinder to like use a lot of that classic content.
Mhm.
And when that happened, they remastered Pathfinder to try to get rid of as much of Wizards adjacent IP as possible. So, like, if you're not happy that red dragons don't exist anymore, they're called something else, but they're still red. They're just not called red dragons anymore. You can thank Wizards of the Coast for that. And several of the examples, uh, the Agolflu, I think I said that right,
Mhm.
are essentially aboleths in the new edition. I think that was their original species name in Pathfinder
Mhm.
before, like it's like this is what we call ourselves, but everyone else calls us aboleths for some reason. And then Paizo was like, we're just gonna make that canon now. Like we can't do this. They definitely look different. They look more like deep sea eels rather than like the coelacanth fish creatures from original D&D, but
Mhm.
it's the same thing
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, they've always kind of looked more technically fishy, and
Yeah.
in this book they do kind of say that the ones that have the dominate powers are the stronger ones, which
Yeah.
is different than in prior incarnations of them.
In prior incarnations of them, all of them could do it, and it's terrible.
Hmm. Hmm.
James and I are playing a Pathfinder adventure right now where we're seeing how bad it is when you can just permanently mind control something.
So
And
standard action dominate.
standard action dominate, man. I've Preparing break enchantment has been my bread and butter, man.
You've
It's
done
been very
very
good.
good at making sure I don't murder you all.
I had to do it twice.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I also
I'll do it
our
again.
red mantis assassin tried to red mantis assassinate me. Almost got grand killed there.
Came close. Came close.
But the other one that I saw was there's an entire section for the Dominion of Black, which is sort of, it's not Cthulhu, but it's like weird stuff in between the stars, creatures working together because we think we're better than all of you lower life forms, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And brain collectors are go by their species name, which is like the Dol Dua or something like that. And they have their new look in this book. So you will see stuff that is in Monster Core. This is not GM Core, where one of the critiques James and I had was like, you could buy the Pathfinder GM Core, and there wasn't a whole lot that you were getting in that in the Starfinder book that would not be in the Pathfinder book. And actually, one of the things we were like, why is stamina and not in the Starfinder book when that's the classic rule? And it's like, no, that's not happening here in Alien Core. Like the amount of overlap is you. I've seen 3, and so like I think that's fine.
I do complain about it in that nerdy voice too. You got me 1-to-1, man. Got me
I
red.
did listen. You know what? I know what it's like when you're in the trenches and you're done with this. Now, why don't we spend some time talking about some cool stuff from this book?
Sure, sure. I mean, there's the Oma. I like that they brought back the giant space whale. And
Oh my gosh.
after listening back to Metalocalypse a bit more, Metalocalypse, if you don't know, has a theme about a destiny in the waters, with giant whales helping metal artists save the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it just kind of it tickles my fancy at this particular point in time.
We have a friend who's really gonna like them. Who really the
Yeah, I like them.
well, no, but here's the thing. It literally talks about like the process of how like the Omas will like take people on travel through space every now and then as like living starships.
Mhm.
But then it talks about how people convert their corpses into starships. And then one of the lines that made me think of our friend is like it mentions like sometimes in the most horrific people turn them into starships and put mechanical implants in them while they're still alive. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, that's the yep, that's the patron saint of animal abuse, all right.
Absolutely. Like I was like, oh man, don't let this man near Starfinder second edition. We're gonna know what his plan is.
After the Aeons, it goes to some more undead. They do
Yeah.
break it into the Corpse Fleet as an organization.
Yeah.
Sorry, there are some monsters. I'm just not going to stop and talk about every monster because there's so many monsters.
Yeah.
Probably going to focus on stuff that is of a type, unless it is special.
Yeah.
Uh, like yeah, you have your Agaflo. Man, that's hard to
I'll
say.
go. Yeah.
You get to
Listen,
angels.
it wasn't made for mortal tongues. It's fine.
It
Or
was
human
it
tongues. It's
was
fine.
made for fish worms.
Ooh.
You have your good guy Jesus Angel. They really went. I think really went to give a type to outsiders because they all
Yeah,
feel like they have a very strong identity. Angels are who you think they would be. Devils are who
yeah.
you think they'd be. They're super legalistic. Um, they definitely did make the decision to change demons into internet anxiety, which
Damon specifically, it's really
Damon,
funny.
sorry, I used the wrong word. They're Damons, which is not a foreign concept to me, but it is interesting to see as a
Well,
archetype.
Well, so daemons in the lore are they manifest as different ways that people can die.
Hmm.
And so like one of them in the book is literally death because you killed yourself from being oppressed and like like socially abused on social media is literally like there is a daemon whose entire job is to send you so much hate online that you kill yourself. And like that's kind of horrifying. um
Yeah, yep. So it's all there. It's new. It's fancy. It fits in the setting. It definitely updates them.
yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does look like Holy Zoe, Cryptwalker. Yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
does. The angel there.
I was really surprised. Do you remember in first edition Starfinder that they had the creepy daemons that like sit in like the Eggman chair and have all the wires popping out of their head and they're like bald babies hunched over?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I would love I would those are terrifying. They were in the Signal of Screams adventure, and I would love to see them come back in an Alien Core 2 or some other type of project.
Hmm.
But I also think them as a manifestation of people who die from overworking themselves is a really good one. I
Yeah.
really like that. One of my favorite monsters in this book. This Alien Core continues the trend of we acknowledge that good outsiders exist, but we do not give them as much content because we expect that most people are heroes that don't fight angels. But that's where you're wrong. But
I'll fight whatever I
my
want.
my favorite one is the Canon Archon, where it
Hmm.
is an Archon where like its base form is that it's literally just a large size cannon. And the lore is that they line the ramparts of heaven. Heaven apparently is the mountain is now surrounded by walls that are mounted with cannon archons so that devils can't invade them. And it just shoots them. And then there's like this little lore thing on the side that says Archon cannons. Despite the large size of these Archons, their ability to support their own weight makes them effective weapons even in the hands of smaller allies. There are reports of even more powerful Archons akin to Arcaseths, which is this type, whose are so massive that they can only be wielded by mechs. So the Holy Gun. I'm
Hmm.
going to shoot an angel at you.
Also, I don't know if you looked at the art there. It has a face at the very top of it, like on the
Yeah,
very top
no,
spire. I didn't.
it's
I
so good.
looked over it and didn't realize it until its silly little face there.
Yeah, no, they're it's great. Like I love that Archons consistently are just these like weird defenders. You know what I mean? Like I think that Archons are probably the closest to biblically accurate angels that
Yes.
exist in Pathfinder and Starfinder, and I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Give me more biblically accurate angel Archon. I think that that's the perfect direction for Archons because like they felt just kind of like because like the ones that everybody knows is like the Hound Archon, which is like isn't that just an Agathian?
Hmm.
Like I thought the Agathian were the furry angels,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like but like seeing them just be like practical things is cool. And I think that if you make archons the biblically accurate stuff, that is awesome too.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
Going down the list, there's the Blood Brother, which is a creature that I don't know how it exists because it's horrific. It is
oh,
something that lives in Versus on Versite on the cold side, and it just straps people in and or beings in and just uses them as a secondary heart and feeds on their blood. How
I
does
hate
that
that.
become a thing? How does that become a thing?
I want to know
Why?
how that I want to know how that evolves from an evolutionary standpoint because that's a beast.
Yeah, it's a beast. It ain't smart. That's
It's not an undead. It's like, oh, we're just gonna find these like what are they? The Verthi are the ones that are
Versites, yeah.
Versites, yeah. We're just gonna find some Versites. We're gonna pluck them up. We're gonna put them in our horrible like millipede cage chest, and
Yeah, like what was that? What was that? How did that chest come to be? It's just like it's all horrible. It's all horrible, and I
yeah.
hate it.
Sometimes evolution is cruel and terrible, like how in Africa there are like flies that try to fly in your eye and like infect your eggs directly in the eyes
You
of
mean
like
like
mammals.
bot flies and stuff like that too?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
sometimes evolution is just horrible and cruel.
yeah. But it's weird that when you put somebody in you and you're just like, you're my friend now. Slash my dinner. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you are my beating heart. Eat for me and die.
just
I
just kind of crazy.
Have you seen the Korkchas? Like they are like they're crab like creatures. I feel like they're the answer to everything. Just evolves into a crab
Pork
as
chest
a beast.
in this book.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I see. Oh, yeah, it kind of looked like.
they
Yeah,
they
yeah,
look they look like what would happen if you had a turtle and then you failed to cast the carcinogen spell on the turtle, but like only half failed. It's like the turtle died and got reincarnated by a tablet that was intended for a crab.
yeah. It kind of looks like a Pokemon that got left on the like drawing table.
That's true. It's interesting because the entry talks about Kopi alternatives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the Kopi were a player race in 1E, weren't they?
Copaxi.
Oh yeah, Copaxi. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're related to that. I don't know. But I also like how the corpse fleet. The you already talked about the corpse fleet already, but the one is literally just a woman in like a head jar with
Yep,
spider legs. Like okay,
yep. Just
cool.
the recruiter. Yep, just gross.
I
The
was
crest eaters back too. Not
I
that I
was
really
gonna
need.
say that too. That's like the first monster that was that like when you opened the original like alien like folio for like the free RPG day before 1E came out. That was the first creature you saw.
Yep.
I'm happy that you're here, up guy. Represent.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. You got the daemon of typos, the type of daemon.
The typo daemon. Is that death by typos? Is that his type? Is his type is uh the horrors of death through dictation errors, transcript woes, or incorrect copying and paste. So basically, if someone types something wrong and that error in a document resulted in someone dying, they could be turned into this.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
that's that's actually so minor. That's probably why it's a CR2. It's like such a minor thing, but also like that's also horrifying. I could put this one bit of line in your medical chart wrong, and the doctor gives you the wrong medical dosage, and you die, and then you turn to this demon.
Mm-hmm. And just making words different and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's just anxieties.
I appreciate that for one of the demons, the Dipex, they literally just made Diablo with with like a Gatling gun.
Yeah, it's very Doom Eternal. Uh,
Yeah, it's very,
in its
very.
design. I appreciate it a lot. Also, the old man who, uh, the Jigit. That's I'm gonna say that wrong every time. It kind of
Uh-huh.
looks like with Metal Gear being more in the zeitgeist. It kind of looks like a mix between the Fear, uh, and what's the other one? The Pain, or
Yeah.
the one that spider jumps in the and then the end. You know, with a rifle, just scary looking dudes. Love the
Yeah, yeah,
design of
yeah.
them. Love it. Hard to explain.
Did you see the Watunshna, the license devil, where
Oh yeah.
literally its ability is to change the licensing agreement on a piece of text so that it causes it to start glitching until you update the license?
Yep. Yep.
That's so mean. Why would you? And like I don't know. If you're listening, you can't see this art, but he's like wearing this like he's like business formal devil who's just updating the license on all of your tech so your Adobe InDesign stops working or whatever.
Yep, yep. That's happening right now. That's actually just Ted from accounting.
It is literally just Ted from accounting. I love it. He's so good. What a man.
And you have some more creatures. You have
Yeah.
digital ghosts, which are a neat concept. Basically, somebody's online legacy uh,
Yeah.
gets its own unfinished business type thing and animates, and they give you a bunch of rules for making them. And I appreciate coming from first edition, especially Pathfinder first edition, where I did more creature making, where you had a lot of things that were templates, and
Yeah.
instead there's like here are adjustments. They're not templates.
Yeah.
Just do them. It's easier.
Yeah. Just put the math, change the number, erase it. You're good.
Yeah. Like here, just add 10, subtract 10, or add 10 hit points, subtract 10, do these things. Just something to make it a bit easier.
Mhm.
Especially in the heat of oh man, my players are having a hard time.
Yeah. The dead and all those. I'm sorry. I got to the Dominion of the Black, which is like another one of those big sections, but where the Dominion of Black is an organization, it's also just like a whole bunch of horrible, messed up creatures.
Yeah, 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 that one that's made out of coffee and then becomes a coffee
Mhm.
vape.
The coffee vape monster.
Yeah, the Haishe Cha,
Yeah.
I think it's called. It has two different forms. It uh is angry and kind of in both, one angrier than the other. Very,
Yeah.
very extra plain, not extra planar, but very like color out of space, horrible things you can't comprehend with your mortal brain.
Yeah. Now, it wouldn't be a Paizo book if there wasn't a whole bunch of dragons in it, right?
Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah,
Did
100%.
you did you get to look at some of these like wacky dragons in this book?
Yes, I would do a lot for the Akashic Dragon. They can sleep in my guest bed.
Really? With that eyeball?
Yeah, that's cool. You can see the future. Also, can make a bunch of knowledge checks. It's cool.
Oh my god, he has so many eyeballs on him.
Yeah, because he sees everything.
There's literally nothing he can miss. Every inch of his torso is eyes. That's amazing. Um, I think that the one that you don't want to stay with you is the Abyssium dragon because it's basically made of a radioactive star metal, and I'm pretty sure that you just like don't have children after he's in your house for a couple hours.
I mean, that's free medical care.
It's true. So one of the things I think is really interesting is that a lot of these like so basically each dragon type has a two-page spread, and the spread has a little bit of extra information. There's adjustments for taking the adult stat blocks and or like there's like a young adult and ancient, but there's also adjustments for making like a young, a standard adult, and ancient, and just kind of like what types of things they get in the different editions. Like if they're spellcasters, like the core dragons don't have extra magic, but if you want to give them like, oh, these are sorcerers, here's some sorcerer stuff kind of thing. And I also like there's like an entire sidebar that's like if you want your dragons to be shape changers, you can just give them this ability. This is fine. Like literally, this isn't an ability that impacts encounters. It just makes them worse. Like if you want to have a dragon that's hiding around and then they turn into a dragon, boss, our captain is a dragon, then you can do it.
Yeah, yeah. I enjoy the dragons greatly.
Yeah.
I think they're a welcome addition to having more weird dragon types. Um,
I
and they're
think the
not just
cosmic
acid
I think the
terrible.
I think the cosmic dragon is really pretty. It's like got like dark blues and like wings of starlight and it's sparkling. It's got weird like pincer horns, but that's fine. And if there was one that I would not want to allow in my house, second place is the Abyssium dragon because I do not want to be sterilized by the radioactive energies. But number one is this horrific swarm dragon.
Yeah, the host dragon,
Oh,
very Nurgle inspired.
its entire body, like it looks like my parents have this plant in the backyard where like it's a regular plant and has pretty flowers,
Hmm.
but then the flower petals fall off and like the stamen like bulges out and
And it
like you
shows
can
all
see
the
these
holes.
big woody seeds inside. And like that's this thing's entire body, but
Hmm.
instead of seeds, those are bugs.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
this is actually the second thing filled with bugs in this book. Because earlier
Yeah.
there's a big bug that has a colony of bugs in it.
Yeah, I actually think it's not called a swarm dragon, it's called a host dragon,
Yeah,
but it's essentially like what I find is really interesting is I would have thought for sure that there would be a sidebar that mentioned how like these things are associated with the swarm, and it's not. These are just dragons that evolved to have bugs in their body, and I'm like, dude, you guys can do
yeah.
so much better, man.
There are so many bugs in this book.
There are
just
so many bugs.
just so many bugs in the book.
Indeed.
You got some more corpse fleet style guys, or anti corpse fleet. What is it? The Draclipsed are
Yeah.
like, we don't like that you did negotiations with mortals. Skeletor noises, and they have black skeletons. That's how you know they're bad, is their bones are
Yeah.
charcoal.
So there's like drakes in this book, and drakes are cool. I like drakes, but the ravenous drake art, he's gonna eat that squawks, and I'm really sad. I wrote the original version of the squawks in the second Alien archive, and this I haven't even gotten to the squawks entry in this book. It's here, but the first squawks I'm gonna see is gonna be dead. Like,
Yeah, I mean, also that art kind of looks funny because it just looks like from a kid's book about dinosaurs.
well, yeah, it looks like a kid's book about dinosaurs. It's also funny because like I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be shadows of like because the light source is behind them both, but
Hmm.
it looks like scratches on the ground. So it actually looks like the dragon isn't about to bite him. He's going,
He's just
he's getting ready
vacuuming him
to
in.
he's vacuuming, and the squawks is like, nah.
Don't do this,
Oh
man.
my wait, oh my god, he is. It has an ability called suction vortex. That's actually happening. Oh my god.
Look at that. Look at
Wow.
the art implies the abilities. Who would have guessed?
That's so funny. I would have thought that that was just a weird like art quirk, but no, it's literally trying to suction the squawks into its mouth to eat it, and it's like try. That's amazing. 10 out of 10, no questions asked. Eat that squawks. You earned it, man.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Do it up.
Yeah. So what is a dredge light?
Dredgelight is another undead. What book is that? There we go. It's a ghost of a celebrity or some sort
Wow.
of internet fame that tries to get you to die one more time for your Oshi.
I mean, I don't know if I like that. Sometimes there are some celebrities that are better off not coming back as ghosts and haunting us forever. Sometimes they just need to leave.
Yeah,
That's
100%,
that's
100%.
where the clerics of Pharasma come in with their holy water guns.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And it's part of updating undead to the toxic new reality of a digital space.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
Now,
it's getting ready for it.
did you see that there's like elementals and there's like cyanoscum and that looks like a capybara elemental.
Diana scum. I did I notice a capybara part of that? Hang
I
on.
don't know. Its face looks like a capybara to me.
Oh, you're
Am I
right. It
wrong?
does. I looked at it and I went, "Yep, that's an animal."
Yeah,
And I
I
just kind
love
of I
it.
just kind of moved on. Yeah.
I
Okay.
love
I
them.
see. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like uh they're like living seaweed elementals. They're kind of associated. So one of the big pieces of lore that happened in Pathfinder is that the the result of the elemental lord of air, the good one that was rescued in one of the original Starfinder Society scenarios, is that it started bringing balance back to the elemental planes,
Hmm.
and that caused the elemental plane of wood and metal, which were kind of like phased out because those elemental lords didn't want to get put into pokeballs.
Hmm.
They started phasing back in like a elemental convergence. So now there are wood and metal elementals in addition to the four classic elements, and this is a wood elemental. And
Mm.
the other one, the tree Glexi, is a metal elemental.
I was looking at the Electrovore. Okay. Yeah. The Triglexi also kind of. I looked at that and went, "Yep, that's a bundle of wires." I have that in my drawer.
Listen, but it's an
Very
elemental.
familiar. Yeah.
It turns out that your drawer is just a housing bed of elemental energy.
Oh, please don't live in my house if you're not giving me rent.
But what if it was giving you rent? Could it live there?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, the
Huh.
cords do it for free. There's
There's
also a Pokemon here. They call it a Waste Wither, but this is just like a muck
oh, it is muck. Look at that. Look at
or
it's so
dryer.
sad.
Yeah,
It's like
spirit of polluted water.
yeah. Oh, I hate that for that guy.
Yeah,
I
so really bad.
I like how the Turagaiator the Gaiator is like literally just like what if a Earth Elemental had legs? It never skipped leg day or arm day.
Yeah, and it's an asteroid, I believe. That one's the asteroid one, right? Where it lives
Yeah.
in asteroids. Yeah. So once again, updating it to the setting. Then you have the new insectoid things on the block, uh, the Eldrians, who worship the terror of Ukalam, which is a slime that exploded from a moon above Castrovel.
Are they just like super evil Formians?
Yes, no, yes, no. The
Because
Formians
like
know of them and they don't like them. They're creatures of legendary evil, but no.
yeah,
Exactly, you got it.
yeah, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Listen, they woke up when the slime monster came out.
Exactly. This one has a chainsaw for a hand.
Yeah, I like the empathnid. It looks like it's a little God, what are they called? The
It's
cool
like
spider
it's like little
people.
Lucas the jumping spider.
Arani, yeah.
Mhm.
He's so good. Like, I mean, I would be scared because the empathnid is tiny, but also like I mean it's the size of a cat, but also like it would be nice, like I'm pretty cool with that. Look how cute those little eyes are.
Yeah, just looking up. Yeah, I the design is simple and good. Just draw a happy little peacock spider.
Yeah. I like the Emver mods. They are like monitor phase that like essentially take the form of like an avatar that fits with the other members of their infosphere niche. And so the one they show is like
I knew
a
you'd like
little
that.
it's a of course I love it. It's a little squawks and it's wearing a little shirt. I'm sorry. You had me at squawks, but then you put goggles and a shirt on it. Like this is the most Alex coded thing in this book. Like I'm a fox with a shirt and glasses. Like this is representation for me.
Mm. I just want to. I think of all the hair that gets in that monitor and gets me a little mad.
I mean, that's fine. He could stay at my place and I will deal with it for you.
Thank you.
Cool.
And then there's also Endlings,
He can
which
shadow ban. You see that? He can shadow ban you from the forums.
oh, he has all the power. Get out of my house. Stop putting for. It's why I don't have pets. Going on, there's endlings, which are the ghost of extinct creatures.
Listen, if you kill us all, we'll come back and haunt you
Yeah,
forever.
so they give different ones from different worlds, examples of them, and it's like, yeah, this is the ghost of the crocodile with the sail on its head or something. Like, man, that's pretty hardcore. I guess you
Do
get
you
ghosts
think
for
there are?
everything.
Do you think on Earth there are like dinosaur endlings?
No, no, because that was like a natural extinction. These are specifically like caused extinctions.
Oh, okay. When it says extremely unnatural ends to these paths
Yeah.
occur, such as unexpected predation, industrialization, or alien pathogens.
Hmm.
Okay. So it can't be natural. If you just fail as a species, you don't get to be an endling.
Yeah, or like if the planet decides to just do a volcano. But
Yeah.
like if you're a dodo bird, chance you can come back as a sick ghost.
Yeah.
Good
Have you,
luck.
the Finitrium fate binders are really cool. They're like these big rock dudes. They're made out of like an incredibly rare star metal called Finitrium,
Hmm.
and they're very cool. They're like made out of it, and they're very stoic looking. They can foretell doom, and they can march forever, and they can bend fate to their will, which is a pretty good will, but not great because they have a -5 intelligence. So I imagine when you have a -5 intelligence, your will is like, I want that guy out of here.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
I think at that point you were just given a simple yes no task, you know.
Yeah.
Just to do that, and then you got chest bursters and free captains and
Yeah.
the Garagakal, Greg,
Greg.
Greg Carl comes
Gara.
back.
Garag. Garag.
I'm gonna call him Greg Carl. That's easier for
Yeah,
me.
they're like, what if you took a guy and gave him wings that look like moldy curtains from a haunted house, but somehow still worked, and then you took off his head and you replaced it with just a leech?
Yep.
That's Greg. Hi,
These
Greg.
these were from Starfinder First Edition.
Yeah, they're horrifying.
They're great. So Greg Carl's terrible. Also, they have the polymath, which is just a weird way to call them advanced.
Yeah. Also, it can phase
Interesting.
through walls.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I think their whole thing was that they would go around spaceships and then just phase through their holes and cause trouble.
Listen, I'm just saying that in that one Starfinder Society scenario you ran, if those creatures were in the adventures instead of Jin Souls, your players couldn't have locked them out of the house.
Yeah, I mean there is a society adventure that does have them, and they do that. Or no, it's the end of one of the Dead Sons books. I think actually should they show up. You also got new types of giants. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're giants. They fit in the setting. More animals. They
Have you
okay.
have you ever wanted a snake made out of glass? There's
No,
the glass serpent.
yeah, that's just a creature that lives on the undead planet because it needs wildlife.
Yeah. So one of the ones that James and I were talking about before we sat down for the show was gremlins, because they actually took glitch gremlins from 1E and they renamed them botnibs. I imagine because that sounds more like a Fey name and not like a mean nickname.
Hmm.
Like, like I can't imagine that you love causing havoc so much that you call yourself a glitch goblin. You probably have a proper species name. That there's still a glitch gremlin. Get that glitch out of my gremlin house. Go away.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's here.
It just kind of fits, and also it probably helps them dodge
Yeah.
confusion with other types of gremlins, right? By just keeping the word gremlin out of it. As weird as that
Yeah.
sounds. There's also some a bunch of them. Gubbin. I didn't see the tag for the art of this one, but when I saw the word gubbin and I saw that image, I was, 2 plus 2 makes 4.
Yeah.
It's like that is a gubbin.
Did you see the knackle, which is essentially the cool '90s gremlin?
Yeah, I didn't like that one. That one's art I don't like. Just because it makes me want to hurt it. I hate it.
It has a false confidence aura, and it can imbue a living creature with a magical gift of talent for 24 hours to give it a bonus to a specific skill. And at any time when the creature attempts it, it can invert the gift into a -4 penalty.
It has a smug aura. It mocks me.
It's so funny.
You also have your Hardlight Scamp. Those are from earlier adventures. They expand on that a little bit as well.
Yeah.
They go into Hell Knights, the different types, Armigers, Degradants.
Listen, I don't think a
They're cool.
Kasatha has ever looked as cool as that one.
Yeah, that one does look pretty sick. I'll bring that one up. The art in this book, as with pretty much all Starfinder art, is second to none. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's very good.
It really
So some
gives you an idea of what you're putting on the table.
Yeah, I mean the Hesper is pretty cool on the next page. It's got like a ship mascot ability, and it also has like mutations with like weird special effects. You like roll to see what its
I'm
mutation
gonna be
is.
real. I would have to double check, but I think that's the art from the from Alien Archive for it.
That's pretty funny.
It,
If it
it
is.
could be an updated version, but
Mm.
it reminds me so much of it because it is just Fabio in your engine room.
I was gonna say the next stat block is called the Ignoroso. It is a bear with one eye that bleeds magma, and like that's all you need to know about it.
Yep,
Like I've just described the monster.
it's just a being. And then there's
Yeah,
also the giant Illuminatula, which is just
yeah.
what is that, portmanteau of illuminate and tarantula?
Yeah, it says that although it recently only appeared in the shattered red deserts of the planet Akaton, the so-called Emulantala has already become the stuff of local legend and folklore, emerging shortly after the crash of a mysterious First One's vessel, now known as the Wreck of the Return. It was named by the Shobad desert guides who first encountered it, and it also says it is a spider made of light. And it's like dangerous. It's the highest CR creature in this book at CR 25, or I say CR, but level 25.
Yep. I mean, there's some other 20 plus creatures, but this one is, I believe, the highest of 25. I have to double
I
check
think
that.
it's funny because like the horrible spider sun skitters around the planet, and it says many of Akaton's local populations believe that it is a sign of revitalization to come to the planet. It will fulfill the role of a fabled Akatonian myth known as the Remaker, a being who will undo the world's ecological damage and bring forth a green and bountiful world in its wake. Younger generations have shunned this belief and instead profess that the wreck is a danger to Akaton and the wider pack worlds, and whatever is inside must be stopped before it is time to take root.
Yep. And also it's from the first one, or it can speak first one.
Yeah.
And also maybe more hints that you'll see more stuff about first ones.
I would be very terrified of a creature who one of its abilities, first of all, it can like change its size from huge to medium at will, which is really cool.
Hmm.
But also it has an ability called Unreality Engine. Like that seems bad. I don't think this is a thing that wants to help you or be your friend.
Yeah, but like, what if it wanted to?
I don't know. Hey, James, ever wanted to play Fallout in Starfinder?
I do have spurs that go jingle, jangle, jingle.
Yeah, well, look at the next page.
Yeah, the irradiated plant monster, undead
Yeah,
plant.
they're all irradiated undead on these next couple pages.
Yeah,
It's really cool. The irradiated boar is like, oh my god. I mean, if you imagine what an irradiated boar should be able to do, this does it. I don't have to
yeah,
explain it to you. You know.
yeah. Weird that it's stalk tentacleized, but once again, it is, you know, supposed to be just a horrible mutant.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, look, it's your favorite alien.
yeah, it's the Ginsols. It's the other group of insectoids that are a threat to the setting.
Yeah.
They're cool. They have their troopers and then their prophets, which are called pontiffs.
Gosh, so there's like there's like the Krakono on the next page, and that's fine. But like I immediately saw the Kaukariki, and
Hmm.
that reminded me immediately of like those Zap monkeys that Vanessa used against us when we played against the Aeon Throne.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that gave me trauma.
Yeah, they just look like monkeys, little monkey boys.
Yeah. What I really like about this book as we're going through, because like I'm going to the next page and you have the Kafak and the Kasaric, and
Hmm.
the Kasaric are like a classic monster, and maybe the Kafak are too. But I like that as a longtime Starfinder player, each page I'm like, oh, I recognize this. Oh, this is new. Oh, I recognize this. Oh, this is new.
Yeah, there's a lot of expansion of previous
Yeah.
tropes.
Yeah, speaking of expansion on previous tropes, the Kaio Core are really an expansion on previous tropes.
Yeah, they don't actually have stat blocks for the creatures themselves, just their effects,
Yeah,
because I guess they're not supposed to be fought. And Alex was, I'd called them kaiju as well, and I found where that is. That is their type. It is the
yeah,
keyword. Yeah.
they have the kaiju type.
Hmm.
So it starting in Pathfinder Ruby Phoenix tournament,
Hmm.
uh, kaiju were no longer given stat blocks as creatures. They are all like hazards. So like they're more designed to be like playing through the scenes of Cloverfield rather than like fighting the actual kaiju. I imagine if you want to fight a kaiju, it would have to use like mech template stuff.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
would. It's for a different game,
Yeah, but it's really
different flavor.
interesting because the hazards range from 14 to 20.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's appropriate when Godzilla
yeah.
comes to town. I don't think there's a CR3 Godzilla hazard.
Oh no. Say he's got to go, 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 Godzilla. Ah, he's roaring. It's CR20. I'm dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Or this building, I can't tank a bridge collapse.
I've seen that new Godzilla movie where like he breathes once and like the entire city is irradiated and everybody dies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Except the love interest. She comes back at the end after the guy does his heroic sacrifice, but
Mm.
then he survives too.
Yeah, it has to have a happy ending. And you got the
Yeah.
Tashkari, the laser wolf.
Oh my god, the three-legged laser wolf. I love you so much, laser wolf.
No
I have no thoughts.
notes. It's
Did
good
you know
too.
Matt Morris wrote the original one of that?
I do.
Yeah.
Then there's another plant monster. That one was cool. There's a couple plant monsters. I do like the expansion of just plant creatures because in a big wide world, you should probably have some things that probably use light, the most available source of energy for food.
Yeah.
Then you got more AI stuff.
I love this one because it's essentially what if we gave a stat block to GLaDOS?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's so good. Give it to me. I like how it can self-destruct. It can do countdowns, shell computers. Like it's good.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good creature.
Yeah, and then you got some midwives, which are from Cosmic Birthday.
They're
Uh,
horrifying.
yeah, they're pretty gross looking. They kind of look like mechs, but kind of not.
I thought they were one-off creatures, like there was only one of each of the 13 midwives, but they work like nobodies in Kingdom Hearts. Peter would be really happy I made that reference. They work like nobodies in Kingdom Hearts because, like, essentially there is like the midwife that did the thing, and its presence spawns little like drone copies of it,
Hmm.
essentially.
Also, they
And
can't die except for certain circumstances. They just kind of come back.
yeah. I love how all of them are like they are defined by what their midwifely duties were to the creature. So like the Presulias are like it says their mortal existence ended in self-sacrifice to feed the newborn. And like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I'm getting very quickly to that part. We have one more session before book 2 ends or
Nice.
chapter 2 ends on a Cosmic Birthday that I'm running.
Hey, there's a monster from Pathfinder. It's the Moonflower.
That's in Pathfinder.
Yeah, they eat you. You get put in their pods.
Cool, cool. I assume so. Also, Little Shop of Horrors much.
Yeah. There's a lot of those.
Seymour, Seymour, feed me.
One of their abilities is yeah, it says a pod spawn. If a smaller or larger creature dies within a pod prison, the pod transforms into adult moonflower. The nearly flume moonflower has its own consciousness, but some aspect of its trunk or blossom resembles the creature that died within.
Hmm, that is kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like I said, like plant creatures, I like them, even though they tend to make players feel kind of in impotent, inept. Both what's worse.
It's fine. You can't grand kill everything. There's got to be some things that are harder for you to grand kill than
True.
others.
Then they go into more undead. They have a necro-linked white, which is a digital white. You got necrovites, which are
Yeah,
Librians, and
they're basically liches.
yeah,
Yeah,
build rules for them. So if you want to make your own Skeletor, they have the make your own Skeletor rules.
yeah. uh a lot more. There's like the Hilly, the Noquasar, there's nymphs. I like that there's like a whole bunch of different nymphs. I mentioned that I think having Fae is cool.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy with that.
the diversity of nymphs reminds me of the expansion of planar races,
Yeah.
Gonzi, Prismatic, etc. So it's like these are I looked at these and went, yeah, these are creatures, but they almost seem like they could be species.
Well, what's interesting is that like the traditional view of nymphs is that they are things that live in like trees, but if you read these entries, these are all nymphs for different types of stars. And the last
Space.
one, yeah, the Gruriad Queen, the CR18 one, is a nymph of a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty
That's pretty
cool.
hardcore.
Yeah, she's very cool. They all have lots of cool abilities, and I love each of them. But also, I love how they have those terrible dinosaurs. Remember the one that I stabbed in Dead Sons, and
Mm-hmm.
then we ran away until it bled out and died because it couldn't heal the wound because it wasn't as strong as me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can. They have a baby version of it in here, and the baby is CR4. So like now you can murder dinosaur children if you really want to go into the animal abuse theme.
Officer, that's him right there. You have the
Listen,
sit.
sometimes
Mhm.
sometimes you have to though. The big one is CR17.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that what you fought was the other one, which is coming up soon.
Yeah,
Also, there's a Sailor Moon looking gnome thing that's not actually a gnome, but it is a fae.
she's a
Uh,
cosmic fae.
yeah, sometimes they grant wishes. They're trickstery. They kind of remind me of like if you were to
Mm.
palette swap what do you call those things? Red caps Where instead of
Yeah.
just being terrible all the way down, this one seems not terrible all the way down.
Yeah. There's a lot of oozes in this book. I was surprised how many oozes there were.
Yeah, I'm glad. I especially like the companion ooze, the Proog.
Yeah.
That's just a funny concept that kind of fits with the whole digital slime thing. I
I
appreciate bringing it into the modern.
I'm a big fan of plasma oozes. Sometimes I just want to destroy a space station with an ooze.
Yeah, a lot of these oozes are either updates or reprints of things, but it's good to have them compartmentalized.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say about those things. It's even though I've seen them before, or some of them, I'm glad that they're all in one place and I don't have to search between books.
Uh-huh.
Also, the Orocan and the really the Iker Lord, which I think had a
Yeah.
stat block before. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but I don't know if this was the original art because this art is great. It looks like a
It's way I don't know what the original art looked like, but this man has a big hat and like a chalice overflowing with green Slimer cooler ecto cooler.
reminds me of
Like
like Disney Hades. Like I'm getting like Hades from Hercules kind of vibes from him.
I I love him. You know he's the most important because he's got the biggest hat.
Yeah, he got the big hat and the cup. And the other version of them is just like on the ground with some bangles. You get
Mhm.
bangles. You don't get cups.
Yeah. The Ozchris is really cool. It is a CR20 construct creature. That is there's like a lot of stuff about these first ones, which I don't think there's a ton of lore about currently, but I'm excited to see where they go with this.
Yeah, this one is so complicated. In that it's like they come from a 2D world, so
I love them.
they exist in a perception of 2D, and
Yes.
they didn't want to give it rules for that because that is hard as heck.
Yeah.
And inherently, sorry, my setup got messed up here. So like they give suggestions on how to uh potentially do things to play around with it, like uh messing around with like maybe if something moves in a
Yeah.
certain direction, it's kind of invisible to it or something. Uh,
I think it
yeah.
should be able to hold out a piece of paper and turn a player into a 2D drawing. Just put the player on the paper.
I feel like that's more than a CR20 ability.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
But I was reading that. I'm like, how do you even bother with that? It's just like there's another supernatural one coming up. I'm gonna skip over some of the aberrations
Yeah.
here in animals. The what is that? 17 Paradox 17, which is just a cognito hazard
Mhm.
or info hazard. It's an info hazard.
Yeah.
And all of its rules are based around the fact that you know it gives it power over you.
Yeah.
Like if you make a knowledge check about it, it instantly knows where you are that you've attempted this check on
I
it.
like it because the whole thing is written like an SCP article, just
Yeah.
randomly put in this book.
Yep.
I'm a fan of that.
And it's preceded by philosophical sophist, which is just like a uh it's weird because it's definitely a thing, but it's one of those like supernatural things that is not you describe it as not supernatural, but the fact that it keeps coming up is supernatural, as this creature itself just is a medium humanoid vesk.
Mhm.
But it's definitely not something that makes you think about your place in the universe
Yeah.
to drive you insane. So it's one of the weirder creatures, and I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm a big fan of it. I also like for Paradox 17, it's a whole bunch of notes and like drawings about what it is, and someone has drawn a sketch of what they think it looks like, but it's like a not a good sketch.
Yeah,
It's like a
like a
child's
kid's drawing.
drawing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a couple of them because like it can be whatever it needs to be where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So the Paradox 17 probably looks like whatever it needs to look like at the time because it is a unique monster. There is one Paradox 17.
Well, what's really funny is if you read it says indirect definition for Paradox 17, it automatically and instantly learns and can observe the exact location of any creature on any plane that succeeds at a recall knowledge check to learn any information about Paradox 17 or a creature that communicates information about it in any way.
Yep.
The ability to observe that creature and its surroundings wherever it goes lasts 1 hour.
Yep, that's the ability I was talking about. Where just like
Yeah.
it knows you out there talking smack.
Yeah. It knows you're out there talking smack.
And then there's some psychopomps, which are always creepy.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, I love them.
I like that they're getting creepier.
I do too. You know what's funny? You say that the tempo ray with that mask, it reminds me of your Eidolon Cinnamon.
Yeah, kind of.
Uh,
Yeah,
no robe, obviously, but
Yeah, who knows what it looked like under the robe? That was the point, to be kind of
It's
scary.
true.
'Cause, like a lot of the psychopomps that you got towards the end of 1E when they expanded the type were uh a lot of them were very much like cultural concepts of death that they
Yeah.
adapted to the game, which is not a bad place to start.
Yeah.
100% not a bad place to start. Use what you got.
Yes.
Give content, then work on making it more original, right? Like it's
Yeah.
I've never seen a Morgana and went, oh god, it's a Morgana, or whatever the Dios de los Muertos one is. It's like I've never been like, oh man, it's that one that makes me want to be happy when I die. So I was like, yay, this is a neat thing. Oh no, I'm gonna die.
Well, what's really interesting is that the Era breaths are the first one that like have like those weird like sheets of metal bodies.
Mhm.
It says that their job is specifically to bring the souls of androids who give up their bodies to the boneyard.
Okay,
Like,
that's cool. That helps kind of figure out some stuff about them.
yeah, it says that beings of reflection and introspection, they help androids come to terms with their choices, reconcile the trying events of their lives, and realize that the time for renewal has finally come. Because, like, theoretically, an android can remain in its body as long as they keep repairing it. And the purpose of these psychopomps is to be like, hey, it's time for you to hit the eject button and let a new tape enter your VCR that is your body.
Man, if that makes me feel so inherently old. I hate that. How dare you do that? Don't put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby.
Well, if you read the Temporary, it's like their job is
Yeah,
like they are psychopomps that mess with people who meddle with time.
yeah.
So I like that because like you could take that as like, oh, we're gonna rewind time to like stay young or whatever, but also we're just messing with the time stream to try to not die or do whatever. I like that. Um
No, I was just thinking that, man. If I were to get rid of my life, it would be like a VHS or cassette, a
yeah.
tape cassette, and my daughter has no idea what those things are.
I
She
feel
hardly
like
knows what a DVD is.
I feel like the Temporary it's a monitor, which is like monitors are like the neutral version of fiends and celestials is
Hmm.
what that word means. And I feel like the Temporary feels more like an Aeon than a psychopomp to me personally, because it stops with the meddling of time, but that already exists as a monitor.
Mm.
And also it's weird there are no monitors in this book aside from psychopomp. I don't know. I think that this one is weaker than the Android one. I like the Android one better, but this one is fine.
I mean, it's a
I would
start.
yeah, it's fine.
The next one, I'm not going to put up a picture because I saw it and I hated it.
Oh, it's the one with cats with mouths for eyes.
Yeah, it's the terrible one because at first I thought it was just looks like kind of just looked like an animal that got hit by a car, and
Yeah,
then you look deeper at it and it gets more disturbing. And
yeah.
I think in the trigger warning part of the book at the beginning, this is one that is specifically referenced as a potential trigger one.
Is
Uh,
it?
there's a couple that are mentioned like topics. I didn't read that too much because whatever, show me whatever. But
Yeah, horrify me.
that is particularly gruesome. So I'm not going to put
Uh-huh.
that on stream.
I want to see. Is there a trigger warning
You
thing?
have the
Oh yeah,
book.
content warning. Yeah, I'm looking
Mhm.
at it. I'm looking at it now.
You have the book. You have Uno.
Yeah, no, I'm literally reading. I'm saying, is there that wasn't me asking you if it was true. That was me talking out loud while I referenced the book.
Now you can't read because I made you laugh. Ah.
I know the remote control war machines. It's like Woody from Toy Story with a little like, come on, Buzz Lightyear, we gotta drive the tactical war machine.
Yeah.
James and I are inherently broken, guys. I'm sorry.
So like the cat is interesting. It is an aberration. It is terrible. It's from the terrible undead planet. Design is good. Uh, a little visceral in the art, which is once again totally fine. But uh, you got
There's a lot of war machines in this book. There's
yeah,
like 3 pages of it.
yeah. It's they all have different origins. Some of them imply that they're the Agaluthus things
Yeah.
because Agaluthus don't do melee combat and they pilot war
Yeah.
machines. And then there's some that are made by Pact Worlds people and yada yada. So there's a good variety there. Um, I because it is kind of like a type because like
Yeah.
a lot of sci-fi settings have just like random drones and stuff like that. So it allows you to kind of fit in with those, which is cool.
I like how
Like,
for a lot of these monsters for these machines, it's like there's like lore about where they're from, and it's like it's the most cryptic lore that nobody needs but understands. But like that's fine.
mhm.
Sometimes knowing that nobody understands this thing is as much as giving like a 5 page report on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And then moving on, you got the Rencrota, which is I think the thing from the book. Although actually no, the Rencrota is from the Society scenario. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
save the
you
Rencrotas.
did stab the purple dinosaur.
I did stab. I remember killing that Barney monstrosity.
No, how
I
could
love
you?
you, you love me. Let's stab you and run away until you bleed out.
You're the hero here.
I listen, I never promised you that Shoku was a hero. Shoku was a boy, a traumatic boy.
And then following that, there's a bunch of robots. The robots are amazing. My favorite is well, there's two favorites. My favorite is a tax class robot because that is just going to get Hitchbot treatment every time anybody
Mhm.
ever sees a tax class civil robot in their game. They're just going to Hitchbot that thing.
I like the one that is the ordnance class civil bot and it's
Yes,
covered with graffiti and the robot just took it, man.
I love that's the second favorite one. I love that, but the other one, it just I think we hit the 10-year anniversary. I think of Hitchbot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
recently. For people that don't know what Hitchbot is, Hitchbot was a robot that was traveling around the world, and it would go through towns, and it made it like a couple hours into Philadelphia before people beat it up in an alley and left it
Yeah,
for dead,
that's
and it never did
listen.
anything again. So
Listen, if there's one thing you can say about the people of the city that James and I live in, it's that we're not getting taken over by no Terminators.
yeah, maybe we should have been nicer to somebody else's robot, but also
Listen,
sorry.
yeah, Phoebe Bain in chat says it got all the way through Canada. Sorry, we ain't Canada. We built different, and that different is wrong.
It's one that only eats food off of trash cans, you know.
Speaking, there's a lot of robots in this book. The next section is like infiltrator robots. I like how there's the one that is a robot that is specifically designed with enough humanoid skin that it can look like a pretty convincing Lashunta man.
Yeah, the synth skin, which reminds me
Yeah.
of Fallout 4 directly, which is totally fine. Totally works. I like the Lion class soldier robot. He just looks like he's doing
Yeah.
his best. Some Fallout person knocked him together.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I was going to say I love the Vanguard class soldier robot because it looks like a Vesk designed this robot and was like, yeah, we're going to give it like the Vesk legs, except, Vesk don't have digigrade legs, but that's fine. This has to jump real good. We're going to give it a tail like us, but we're going to put like a blade, like an axe, a dashko on the edge of its tail. That's so cool. And a gun on its arm, and we'll shape its head like a Vesk head. But you know what? If there's one thing we do like, we respect Kasatha. They're another warrior race. We're going to give it 4 arms. Vesk would be objectively better if we could use 2 Dashkos at the same time. So our robot can do that.
True, true. Then we get on to sapient colored orbs, which are
I
just
love
kind of funny.
those. Yeah.
I'm not going to show the art because they're orbs of a color.
The name is on the tin.
Yep. There's a scary spider. There's the Screeshire comes back, which is a first
Oh,
edition.
that's horrifying.
Yeah, the art is better than previous. The previous
Oh,
art looked kind of cartoony.
I like how there's an entire category for different types of space worms.
Oh yeah, I mean, just like there's so many types of worms on Earth, right? Like
Yeah.
space is bound to be full of worms if it's full of life. And we get to the Spectra, which are the newest outsider, I think.
Yeah.
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 Art's pretty cool. Feels kind of very like Sonic 06.
Yeah. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, gotta go fast. Not a bad thing. Just it kind of reminds me of that art direction.
Yeah.
And a couple more. We're just
Squawks, squawks, squawks.
Yeah, I'll put up the squawks.
Listen, they it's one of the few places there are player rules in this book. There's not many. One of them is that there's a combat squawks companion. If you win, as this says, some institutes have bred larger squawkses that are specially engineered to be more appropriate for combat. You can select a squawk companion using the animal companion rules in Tech Core. So now we know there's going to be animal companion rules in Tech Core, and they're going to give me a fox squirrel hybrid to beat up people.
True.
That's all I. Do I need anything else in life, James?
No, no. And then we move on to the swarm. There's like 4 or 5 new swarm types. Some of them are reprints from previous books, but the art for some of them is new. I think the one for the big claw one, what is that one called? The Thresher Lord. I
Oh
believe
my
that's the
God.
same as before. But that's fine because it's horrifying and that art is appropriate for what it is.
I know James has actually been like speed running because he wants to get to this next creature, which is like his favorite creature in the whole book.
Well, it's the one that I read about and was like, what is it? It's the Terror of Ukalam, which is just pudding.
Just pudding.
That came from a moon and did a bunch of bad stuff to Castrovel
Yeah.
and caused the species that live on Castrovel to form a united block to fight against it and its minions.
Yeah, but nobody wants to admit that it's coming for the planet and it's going to eat it. I'm
Yeah,
so
so
excited.
like there's lore about it, and I'm not sure if the lore for it is in another adventure that I haven't read yet,
Mm.
because it seemed all brand new to me when I was looking through it.
Yeah,
And it was cool.
yeah.
I liked it. Oh, the trawler is back. I think this is what it was from first edition, or at least a variant of it was, where it was just in the sky and teeth.
Yes,
That just has people teeth. That's just people teeth.
that's horrifying.
Yep, just animals with people teeth.
There's a lot of trolls in this book. I like how there's teleport trolls. They can get to any bridge they want.
Whether that's Brooklyn or your spaceship.
Yes.
Uh,
I
Good.
Yeah. So why don't we like we're basically at the end. We're at V's going to like Z's, right?
Yep. Hmm.
So why don't we each pick like one or two creatures here towards the end to wrap up talking about the creatures before we move to the appendix?
Sure. Uh,
We're gonna skip the Xenowardens because they are narcs.
I mean they're fine. They're just people. Uh, we got a bunch of zombies and stuff like that. I think the coolest things that I just liked was the Terror of Ukulam, because it looks like there's a lot on that meat on that bone that is to
Yeah.
come. Because if there's something that shows up a lot in a book, it probably is a hint towards its importance.
It reminds me of how Tree Razor showed up in the first Monster Core, and now they're doing a Tree Razor adventure path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I like the Wayward Wisp. It is a living dimensional rift in reality. I think like as an elemental, it's an aberration. It's kind of like a combination aberration, like cosmic horror. I love that shit. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. Otherwise, at the end, you get a bunch of adjustments for
Yeah.
making things different, whether you need them to be easier, harder, more adapted to a world. So if you have a creature that's not usually aquatic and you need it to operate in an aquatic world, it gives you ideas. This is uh kind of like the previous book where it's like or whatever, but
Mhm.
there's a little bit more backing behind the or whatever on these. So I am
My
totally a fan of these.
my favorite one is the sapient adjustment. If you want, first of all, they use the proper word. So many people use sentient instead of sapient. Basically all animals on planet Earth are sentient. That just means being able to perceive your environment. And sapient means being capable of higher level cognitive thought. And they use the correct word. That makes me happy, first of all. And second, I just love the idea that like they have rules like, yeah, you could just slap this on a creature and now it's got a brain and you changed it. Congratulations. It doesn't actually increase its combat abilities. It's got the same difficulty, but now you have a happy smiling ooze instead of just an ooze.
Or an ooze that worries about taxes.
Yeah. Oh my God, you made it think you ruined a perfectly good pile of ferroform.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's really the curse. Is it like when you get it like an animal that's happy, and then you just give it the ability to get more anxiety?
Well, but isn't that essentially the lore of uplifted bears where they literally have like a psychic dream where they dream about like a primordial forest where they are just regular bears
Mm-hmm.
because their brains were not involved to handle like the stresses of the tax code. My brain wasn't evolved to handle the stress that we go through in
Yeah,
modern
yeah.
society, let alone that poor bear.
I want to eat berries and hunt stuff.
Yeah.
Like that is just something that is so incredibly rude.
Yeah, incredibly rude. Uh there are but things that aren't rude. There's like a whole list for like the universal creature abilities, the common abilities. There's like traits that has some more art. There's a couple tables that like show you how to put like oh this is how many celestials are in this book. There's so many constructs. And there's actually 3 rituals in the book that will let you summon like demons and devils and angels and stuff if you
Mhm.
want to like call an angel to you, which is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah,
There's some bonus languages used by different creatures in the book, and yeah, then there's just those tables and
that's a wrap
charts, and
up.
that's core.
Yeah.
So, I guess quick thoughts. Number one, this book doesn't really have player content, so if you like that in the Alien Archive series in 1E, you will not get that here. Uh,
Mhm.
I think that this is fine. I think that it's probably better long term for Paizo to do more stuff like Pathfinder's Book of the Dead, where they could sell the book to players and GMs. But for what this is, a GM book to have lore and ideas and monster rules, I think it's a really good book.
Yeah, and I think especially more at the start of the game's lifestyle, it's probably or lifespan, it's probably a better way to make people not feel overwhelmed into having to buy everything. Like
Dustin is
7 years down the line, people are going to have stuff, and they're going to be like, "Well, I want to buy something."
Dustin Knight is screaming at me in chat that summon monster is player content, and I'm gonna tell you, I never take those spells.
No, it is player content. I've used it.
That's fair.
That's a skill issue, my
He
friend.
says, "Fine, we'll see if I let your cleric summon an Archon cannon." I feel like by the time I could, the cannon isn't as useful as just
How dare you? How
scorching
dare you insult the cannon? The holy cannon
it.
golem.
Listen, listen, that's fair. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, I think it's a good book.
yeah, I do too. I enjoy it. I'll definitely give it
Mhm.
another. End up giving it another read through, and if there's anything that stands out in part three of Cosmic Birthday, stuff might get switched out,
Yeah, no,
depending.
I definitely. I think that I think that compared to GM Core, this is a book that you definitely want in your collection if you're a GM and you're running games. If you have the honor of being a forever player and you do not care about casting summon monster or a Squax companion, you probably don't need this book. But also the art is baller. I
Hmm.
love this book's art. I love how much it makes me squick because the cat has mouths for eyes and they are lamprey mouths.
I hate that. I hate that animal.
Gross,
Hate that art.
gross. Yeah. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. So I guess looking ahead, we still have to take a look at the adventures that have come out. There are two adventures that have come out. We've got Murder in Metal City, and we have the other one was Guilt of the Grave World has come out. So what do you think, James? Do you think we should do both in one
Yeah.
episode, or
Yeah.
do
We
you
can
think,
we can run through
yeah,
both in one episode.
yeah, so then I guess that leaves us looking at the Christmas, what we'll do then. But looking at our current date, since we are now doing the last Monday of every month, that would put us at November 24th, which is the Monday before Thanksgiving. So yeah, we'll get this. I actually, you know what? This is going to work out really well because you remember last year when we did this, it was always like the day before Christmas Eve, the
Yep.
day before Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
I think this is actually going to be pretty good for us being adults with lives and things to do. So
Yeah.
cool.
And also, it got me weekend time to do it, and hopefully, I'll be in better shape after. The reason why we moved is I do volleyball on
Yeah.
Wednesdays now.
Well, hey, you know what? You've done volleyball with another one of our friends, and you aren't the one who bruised their hand, right?
Yeah, no, I'm look. My knees and ankles are still relatively intact, so
You did it.
we'll see how
You've
that goes
already,
with a full actual game.
yeah, you fought really hard to not have broken hands and arms and legs, and I believe in you. You did it.
Thank you. That was
So
inspiring.
if I mean, listen, I've given you my positive speech already in private
Hmm.
on last
Hmm.
last week. You get whatever comes spews out of my
Fair,
brain now.
fair.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
don't hitch bop me, bro.
So but if you want to see me say weird random compliments to James and or tell James about how great he's doing at volleyball or just talk to us about Starfinder, that's probably the more reasonable reason to come onto our Discord server. But you can find us at nodirectionpodcast.com. There's a link on the side. You click the link, you join the server. I have started doing a my guidance blog article again on No Direction, but I am on a unplanned hiatus as I help a friend with some major things that are going on. I have a writing assignment to try to help them with something important for a family member, and I have not been able to do guidance in addition to that. So, working on it, hoping to be back probably in November. But I am doing that for No Direction. James and I are always hanging around and being silly. When people message us, we are happy to jump in and talk about Starfinder or whatever games you guys are playing. We're pretty cool. And yeah, I don't think I have any shout outs for anything. Do you?
No.
Cool. Well, then, until next time, go beyond with no direction.